Apply these 4 factors to a major global health crisis, dengue fever. And dengue is a massive, massive problem. We are talking about an estimated 390 million infections every single year. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's a huge portion of the world's population at risk, which makes it a perfect and, frankly, a very urgent case study for our model. So what exactly is dengue? It's a virus you get from mosquitoes. It causes a high fever, a rash, and some really bad muscle and joint pain. But here's the crucial and honestly kind of scary part. A first infection is bad enough, but a second infection with a different strain of the virus can trigger severe dengue, which is way more dangerous and can actually be fatal. Okay, so let's put on our epidemiologist hats and use our 4-factor toolkit to really deconstruct what causes a dengue outbreak to get a foothold in a community. So let's kick it off with the predisposing factors for dengue. And right away, we hit something fascinating that sounds totally backwards. Having a prior infection with one type of dengue actually predisposes you to get a much more severe illness the second time around. How wild is that? Other factors include things like your age, having a weaker immune system, and in some regions, even your gender. Next up, the enabling factors, the environment that just rolls out the red carpet for this disease. Think about it. Low income can lead to poor, densely packed housing. A lack of AC means the windows stay open. And simple things like uncovered water containers become the perfect 5-star hotel for the very mosquitoes that carry the virus. Now for the precipitating factor, the direct trigger, the spark. You can have every other risk factor stacked against you, but without this, the disease simply can't start. For dengue, it all comes down to a bite from an infected Aedes mosquito, which transmits one of the 4 different types of the dengue virus. And finally, the reinforcing factors. What keeps this whole problem going? Living in tropical urban areas with poor garbage disposal means mosquitoes are just always around. This leads to repeated exposure. And as we now know, getting infected again by a different virus type is what reinforces the risk of that really severe form of the disease. Okay, now here is where this model gets really powerful. These 4 factors don't just exist in separate boxes. No way! They all weave together to create this complex, interconnected web of cause and effect. And this just illustrates that chain perfectly. An enabling factor like low income leads to a reinforcing factor like poor sanitation. That creates the perfect conditions for the precipitating factor, the mosquito bite, to happen. And then, a predisposing factor, like poor nutrition, means a person's body can't fight off the infection as well. You see, it's all connected. So after all that, what's the big takeaway? Why does this model even matter? It matters because it allows us to completely shift our approach, from just reacting to illness to proactively preventing it from ever happening. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. A cause is rarely just one thing. It's almost always a combination of factors all playing a role together to create that final health outcome. And that is the ultimate goal here. By understanding this whole web, we can intervene at any point in the chain. We can improve housing, we can manage waste, we can boost nutrition. This model shows us that public health is about so much more than just medicine. It's about building healthier societies from the ground up. So I'll leave you with this challenge. Think about other complex problems. Maybe something in your community or something happening in the world. It could be anything from educational inequality to climate change. How could you apply these 4 lenses, predisposing, enabling, precipitating, and reinforcing, to get a much deeper understanding